Welcome na nina isna midwan na ito. Ang spasaway at lagayan. I have lived for over 60 years, and in 60 years of dealing with the governments, I've seen many first steps. And I think they were a step backward in my 60 years of experience, because they never got to the root. Like I said earlier today, they never got to the root of the problem. The government does not respect us as human beings. They have missed that boat. When they brought their boats, they brought no respect. And I'm sorry to say, that was the worst mistake that was ever done. That was the first step. Our humanity was taken to be of a savage. Yet, we welcome these people because us, as the Aboriginal people of this country, we did not understand their ways. When it's too up with me, I never even do the way we are. We did not understand their misconceptions, their crazy misconceptions of the way they were brought up, because they didn't exactly send scholars and people of knowledge. They sent thieves. They sent people that were in chains and brought them. They brought people who were used to being conquered and who were taken out of their own jails or whatever they had in order not to be beheaded by their kings. That's who they brought here. We didn't have that here. For over 10,000 years, the Mi'kmaq lived here. And for 100 years, they lived very peacefully with the French. Because of and then the English came and they wanted to get rid of the French too. They threw them out of Newfoundland. They threw them out of Nova Scotia. And I believe a lot of that came where we get the Acadians. They married the Mi'kmaq. The Mi'kmaq saved them and saved their families. There's so much history. But I'm going to tell you my history that I have lived. And that is, it has been with dealing with the government at all levels. In my lifetime, I must have served on at least 50 committees, national, local, provincial. I even served on the Human Rights Commission. I was the first Mi'kmaq to serve on the Human Rights Commission in Massachusetts. And after 6 months, I quit. There's nothing humane in this human rights. Nothing humane, it's just another institution being set up. That's why I don't like institutions. Now, I belonged, like I said, to many organizations, and I try to fight this. Fight what we are living today. But the more educated we got and the more English we spoke, the more nuttier we got. We got educated academically, but no moral values, no conscience, no respect for one another, because the language was being forgotten. And within the language was built this moral obligation to each other as human beings. And you know, at my age, I'm getting tired. I try to teach the young, but I have so many things fighting me so many things now. But one basic principle remains, and that is just to live day by day. Because people going into Mars or going into space, I don't give one sweet tooth about that, because I live here on this planet. I don't care about their billions they send to send a ship out there, doing what? To create all this acid rain, or all the stuff that's going on this planet. We've had, in my 60 years of remembering, I lived through many, many phases of change, technological change, you name it, because that seems to be the only thing that people care about, is technology, and forget about the human beings. I've traveled Canada, all of it. I've traveled the United States, all of it. I've traveled Europe, and I've gone to 3 third world countries. As dumb as I look, I saw what humanity does to each other. That the native people, prior to their brainwashing, would have never thought to do to one another when they were still speaking their language and treating each other with respect. Myself, Indian affairs was never for me. The Grand Council I believed in, because I lived it. I lived with 2 great Grand Chiefs who were the true leaders of the Mi'kmaq Nation until this change and progress, so-called progress, changed all that. And Indian affairs took over the lives of Native people across Canada. And it brought it to its knees. It brought it to its knees by having our young being homeless, being on drugs, committing suicide. All kinds of sad, sad things happened and are still happening. There's so many homeless. The elders, nobody cares about no more. They'll give them, oh, we get mentioned. Oh, I'm only 19, excuse me, I shouldn't say elders. I'm still sweet 16, I'm sorry. But, you know, when you mention, we have got to get back to our grassroots. And that is the most important thing while we are here today, to me. Get back to our old ways of thinking towards each other, treating each other, taking care of each other, sharing ourselves with each other. No more oneness, no more of this, I'm important, I'm on the Grand Council, I'm on the council now, I'm a chief of the big deal, big effing deal. You know? Every time I watch these elections, I don't vote in them, I just watch them. And I watch the attitude of the people that get on councils that's supposed to lead our people. Oh my goodness, you would have thought that ego change. They gave me this ego change, ego. You can't do anything now without me. Another Harper. Another Harper. That's not the way to go. It's not the way to go. Canada is a peaceful country, always been a peaceful country. The Aboriginal people kept it peaceful until the colonial governments came. What I'm afraid of, them interfering in other countries, in other Aboriginal communities all across the world. They're going to bring the war here and blow us all to hell. And there's no need of it. World power, we call it. To me, world power is being able to get along with your neighbor, help your neighbor. You don't have to love them, but have respect for them. To me, that is our root. That is the root of Canada. It is the root of Canada. The Mi'kmaq especially do not have treaties after Confederation. They have them prior Confederation, which means that we had them made nation to nation, not Indian affairs to a band. Do some of you understand that? We're not going to be idle anymore, okay? We don't need to be idle anymore. We've idled long enough. That point has to be made and it has to be lived. That we are a nation. And our treaties are pre-Confederation treaties. And they were made on a nation-to-nation basis. They were not made by the Department of Indian Affairs. And if we can't live up to that, we're in trouble. We're in bigger trouble than we are right now. And I'm urging the young that are brought in by Indian Affairs, brought into a leadership by Indian Affairs, to think of that, to remember that, and to live it, and to get over yourselves. Because you're working for the people, and you should listen to the people. And anything you do should be for the people. Not for yourselves, not just for your families, but for everyone. That is a responsibility. I try to live that each and every day because I believed in my people. I learned lessons from them and I learned well. And I tried to carry it on. And I know a lot of you are not going to like what I'm saying. But you know something? At my age, I don't give a sweet hoot.